James Selka, lovely to talk to you again. I remember chatting with you a few years ago in those very dark days when you had to postpone MAC because of the pandemic. There's a very different vibe at the NEC now, isn't there?
Oh, the sense of anticipation, Nick, is palpable. Obviously, we always get a buzz out of building such a complex show, which goes on for so long with all the technology and equipment, both hardware and software, coming in. Um, but there really is a big sense of anticipation that I haven't picked up before now, of a strengthening market and an optimism in the prospects for UK manufacturing.
Well, you just picked up on a point I was going to ask you about because exhibitions like MAC tend to illustrate the health or otherwise of the sector. And so perhaps expand on that. What does MAC 24 say about the manufacturing and engineering sector in the UK today?
It says lots of things. We would like it to very much say that the UK is open for business. We are still very keen to trade globally. Um, the countries in Europe are still very much a large market for UK exporters, and our message is, despite various disruptions over the last few years, including the pandemic, manufacturing is still very much alive and healthy, and that we are really welcome the government support committed over the next few years, the 4.5 billion. And we are very keen to see that the catapult centres, which are such an important bridge between academia and industry, to continue to expand and thrive.
Declaration of interest, manufacturing TV is actually going to be at MAC, visiting and talking with some of the people on the stands at the HVM Catapult centres like AMRC and MTC. It's really interesting that they're putting a great deal of effort into this MAC. To make that bridge, as you say, between the technology centre, the R&D sector. It's really important that we commercialize more and better in the UK and own more of our own brilliant technologies and companies.
I couldn't have put it better, Nick. Thank you so much. Manufacturing is a wonderful sponge for all the amazing innovation and inventiveness that the UK is famous for worldwide. And one of the great ways to make sure we retain more of that value in the UK, as appropriate, of course, is to make that in the UK and export worldwide. And the good news is that the manufacturing technology continues to enable companies to be able to make increasingly viably to order. And that's not just custom making stuff. It also means making in very low volumes as necessary, which the inferences for reducing waste in manufacturing is incalculable at the moment, actually, because we've spent a sort of several generations in making lots of things using batch manufacture, which, if you think about it a little more carefully, means willfully overproducing. And that means stocking it, means you're slower to respond, etc., etc. And now, with this amazing technology that continues to accelerate, we are increasingly able to do exactly that. And it's an amazingly exciting time to be involved in that.
Final point, James. As ever, MAC is the biggest in class, the largest show. It's absolutely enormous, and there's so much to see. But if you had to pick out a couple of highlights for visitors, particularly young people, I know that you've got some young people and education stands on display. What would you recommend people go and have a look at?
Oh, that's a really hard question, but I would be very keen to go very much to the education development zone, where we continue to increase our investment every edition of MAC, where we've unfortunately had to close our registration because we are now at our limit of subscriptions of students, aged between sort of 12 and 18. Being bussed in from all over the country. There's some amazing exhibits there, including F1 in schools, etc., and lots of interaction. On the sort of emerging technology, the knowledge hubs are something we've expanded this year with the help of the MRC and the MTC, where people can walk in and say, tell me about additive manufacturing, tell me about automation, tell me about reducing my energy costs, and they won't be sold to. They're all brand agnostic experts from the catapults on those knowledge hubs, and they will then be able to signpost each interested party to the various amazing companies that are displaying their technologies this next week.
Well, James Selka, have an absolutely wonderful week. MACH, as always, promises to be the highlight of the year on the technology front. Have a wonderful time, and I look forward to seeing you in Birmingham on Monday.
Thank you so much, Nick. I shall also look forward to it.